So I think some of the key considerations for adopting a zero trust kind of methodology, the first thing I believe in is more of a cultural shift and extending that to training and awareness, because the users are going to come into different types of experiences that they're potentially not used to before. Some may try and circumvent those, but I think if you're adopting a good way of communicating to your staff about, okay, we're potentially going to implement MFA, and these are the reasons for that, I think the users probably more encouraged to buy into why we're adopting that kind of zero trust methodology and what that extra step looks like for them. So I've certainly seen that in customers I've been speaking to where they're explaining about the change and the reasons for the change. It makes it a lot easier, and that culture shift just allows for zero trust to be implemented throughout the organisation in a lot better way.
I think the cultural shift is definitely a big part of it, right? I mean, when you look at zero trust, we're going from that mindset of we're trusting everyone to trusting no one. There is always going to be that cultural impact of it, and because of that, this is more than just a technology decision. There is a lot of process and the people element behind it is just as important.
Yeah, agreed. And the other one, I guess, is around actually having a business need to implement a area around zero trust. There's always got to be an outcome. There's always got to be a business objective, and align those business objectives of, okay, where do we need to implement zero trust? What does that mean for that outcome? And then everyone's bought into that effectively a change. There's no point in implementing zero trust for the sake of implementing zero trust.
I was literally going to say the same thing. A lot of people will hear the buzzword zero trust, I need to be doing it.
Yeah.
Do they actually understand what it means? Have they actually evaluated what they want to get out of it and what those business outcomes and success metrics actually look like?
Yeah.
So I'd very much agree.
And another consideration that I've been thinking about is ensuring that your supply chain is kind of up to the same standards as you are as a business, because you can put all the controls around your infrastructures as much as you like, but you also need to make sure that your suppliers, your partners, adhering to a similar model or similar set of security standards at least, to ensure that you're protected from all the different angles. So that's just I guess my top three considerations are cultural shift, training, kind of combined, and then the supply chain, and then the actual business need and objectives.
The supply chain is certainly an interesting one because there is no assessment that someone can take that says,
No.
I am zero trust certified, right? Any business can say I'm doing zero trust. What does that actually mean? It's going to mean something different for all businesses. So it's definitely a valid challenge and something that we're seeing. But understandably, on the business side, those are certainly three challenges that I've come across. I suppose in addition to that, I've also got some of the technical challenges that that I've come across when speaking with clients and customers. And I suppose the biggest one is there is no one product when it comes to zero trust. You can't just go out to any vendor or supplier and say, I'm going to pick this thing up off the shelf and it's going to solve all of my zero trust needs. Yeah. Zero trust, by definition, it is a framework, it is a methodology. It is going to incorporate multiple technologies in order to make it work and also to make it possible. Because of that, because you're then dealing with multiple solutions, there's that added complexity. And that's where one of the biggest technical challenges come along is I'm introducing all of these new security solutions. How do I manage, administrate, and actually derive value out of these? We've also got to consider integrations between these. Some products integrate more than others, but these integrations are key to really solidifying that zero trust strategy that a business has. The second technical challenge that I come across all too much, because I think everyone suffers from the same issues around legacy systems. Yeah. Zero trust, whilst it is a new model, it assumes a new way of working and it's a new architecture when it comes to security. If you've got loads of legacy systems and solutions, it begs the question of how does that fit in and how do I migrate that across? And often or not, there are normally very big architectural changes and rip and replace projects that needs to occur before someone can become, zero trust ready as such. So it is a very big challenge on more of the technical side. However, with that being said, there are certainly some benefits with zero trust. Yeah. the increased security that you get, that increased security maturity, in fact, that you have, is really good. Go into that model of, assuming no trust. And assuming a breach, is very critical, given the fact that the threat landscape at the moment is, it's getting worse by the day.
Yeah. I guess on top of that, it's more increased visibility to start with.
Yeah.
If you can't secure what you can't see, and from an increased visibility point of view, when you're looking at logs from all types of assets across all types of infrastructure, it should give you a better approach to securing whatever type of environment you have, and moving that into kind of like trying to reduce the attack surface. So by segmenting different parts of your network. So if an attack does occur, you're limiting that breach to that particular area, limiting the blast radius is what everyone refers to it as. So those are two core benefits that I see as well. So visibility and limiting the blast radius.
Oh, well, I would very much agree. And it falls under that point of, you're assuming a breach because you've now taken that mindset of I could be breached. I am breached.
Yeah.
That means, I'm going to secure my network in such a way that it is segmented. I'm going to continuously validate these users.
Yeah.
So very much so, the benefits of zero trust are very key within those areas.
What do you think about the? Obviously, we put loads of controls, potentially got to train users into those different ways of authenticating. What do you think about agility? How do you think Zero Trust improves agility?
I wouldn't say it's about improving agility as such, but I think Zero Trust makes you more agile from a security perspective.
Yeah.
As I said, there is no audit or assessment when it comes to Zero Trust, which to some people is a bad thing. I can't score myself against it. But at the same time, because it's a plan, because it's a framework, a methodology, you have the opportunity to make it very dynamic, right? So you evolve your Zero Trust plan as the threat landscape also evolves, right? And I think that's one of the main things that we need to do, or else we're going to get caught up in the whole, I need to pass this assessment, but this assessment is 3 years old. It's not relevant to today. So I know that didn't really, I know that.
I get what you mean, It's more just, we want to make sure that we're secure, but also improve user experience.
I think if you had a business that fully embraced and implemented Zero Trust, it would make them more agile in security because they are implementing something that can dynamically respond to the changes in the threat landscape.
Yeah. And I guess, like I said right at the start, the cultural shift, enabling users, you're getting that human firewall element to it. And everyone's part of securing the company, securing the infrastructure and the assets. I do feel that's a really core part of consideration, but also a benefit that you're enabling the actual full entire user base to be security aware. Yeah, and that's a lot of the time what people miss out is we have this habit of always looking at the technology. We also need to look at the people and processes, and I really think that Zero Trust does a good job at combining all of those elements together. Yeah.
But we also still need to be considerate that there is a big cultural shift to it, and if we don't accept and plan for that, then we're not going to see the success that we want.
Yeah.